All right, so 4 years ago, there was a great interview that happened between us, right? So I never got a chance to ask you these questions. And I know this is on the spot, but I'm going to ask you your Mount Rushmore. If you could put four pictures on the Mount Rushmore, who would be the four that you put on the mountain?
Modern era.
No, you can do, I don't care, past or modern.
I was fortunate enough to win 3 Cy Youngs, and he won, 506 games, 3 games, I don't know. Lost a lot of games too, but they used to pitch, double headers back then. So maybe Cy Young. Where are we, Texas? Nolan Ryan, I better get Nolan in there. With 5,500 innings, 5,500 strikeouts, which is amazing. My first World Series game was Sandy Koufax's last game. So, he retired at 30, I was 20. He was like 27-7 with about a 190 ERA. And, he's had some elbow problems and went to work for NBC, so he retired early. And then maybe not, I can go down. Carlton won more, other than Warren Spahn, who I got stuck in an elevator with in Buffalo, who won, 353 games, or 363 games, I think, most ever by a lefty. Carlton won 329. I pitched against him in A-ball. I can go down the list. Seaver, my first All-Star game. But Robin Roberts, who's in the Hall of Fame, he was my first roommate with the Orioles. I was 19, he was 38. So he kind of mentored me. So maybe not as good as some of the guys early win or some of the 300-game winners, but for me, somebody that took the time to teach me how to pitch at 19, he's up on my list.
I like that. So in today's baseball, the modern era, is there anybody when you look and say, reminds me of myself, is there anybody that you see from a pitching standpoint?
Well, Tyler Wells last night, who came in relief and pitched, I wasn't 6, I was only 6'3", and as he walks by. I'm only 6'3.5", but he was 6'8", but he pitched. He came in and, in relief, after the Orioles starter Radish got hit with a ground ball, hard ball up the middle. I think it's kind of nice to see young pitchers that don't throw, but they actually pitch. So, on our team, Bradish pitches well, Kramer, those guys pitched well last year. So hopefully they'll be able to repeat that, because the Orioles, they went from 52 wins to 83, one of the biggest increases in the history of baseball when you go from 52 to 83. But to take the next step and be competitive in the American League East, they're gonna have to win 12 to 15 games apiece, which, if they pitch like they did the last 2 months, I think they will.
I like that. So this Orioles team, I like it. It's a young bunch. You got Gunnar Henderson, who hit his first home of the season. You got those guys on offense, and you talk about the pitching. What do you see in this Orioles team? Because I think they're a really sneaky, really good young team.
Well, they're young and they're inexperienced. So they don't have track records, so you just hope they improve. Mateo at shortstop led the American League in steals. Stole 20 out of 24 and then 13 out of 18. If he gets on, he's probably, with the new rules, bigger bases and, the way you can't only throw over 2-3 times at the most, he's probably going to steal 50 bases. But he's as good as defensively as any shortstop. And I played with Aparicio. He's in the Hall of Fame. I played with Belanger, who had 8 Gold Gloves, and I played with Cal Ripken, who had 8. And then I saw Mike Bordick, who won 110 games for the Orioles without making an error. So, he's great defensively. The young guys, Mullins can play, Santander can play. Mountcastle went from 33 home runs to 22 home runs, but we put the new wall in Baltimore, so it's pretty tough for right-handed hitters to hit, but, he's improved. We got one of the best young catchers in baseball, and Natalie Rushmore, so they do have a nice team, and hopefully they'll be competitive.
I like that. So you did your Mount Rushmore, but let's just say I build a perfect team, you build a perfect team, and you got to have your starting 5 rotation. I'm pretty sure you can probably just use the Mount Rushmore of guys that you did, but if you had to put a 5, none teammates, so no Quaylar, none of your teammates, you got to put 5 for your rotation. Who's your starting 5 pitchers in your rotation?
Modern day,
you can mix it up. Let's mix it up.
No, I'll be getting Maddox.
Okay.
Then I'm having Clemens. Then I'm having Seaver. We can throw a lefty in there, so I'll get a 300-game winner, and Tom Glavine. Everybody's going to think they can hit him, but they don't. And then I need another guy, right? I'm going with Louis Tiant.
I like that. Just 2 more questions. So this pitch clock, how do you feel about that? Because, they're That wasn't a thing back then. So what do you feel about that now?
Well, it's kind of interesting because pitch clock, we had one back in, but it wasn't really official, but the Orioles t-shirt used to say pitch quickly, throw strikes, and change speeds. So good pitchers do that. I don't think that's going to be as much as difficulty as a hitter only having, really 7 seconds to be looking in. I saw Devers get thrown out called out on opening day. I mean, it was 10-4 at the time, but they only lost by 1 run. So at the end of the day, I think that'll probably, the fact that the hitter has to be ready, can't adjust the gloves and do all the stuff they do, that'll probably be more of an impact. And the other rule, I think the shift will make a big difference.
I like that. Last question. So, the players have their walk-up songs when they go to the mound and different things like that. If Jim Palmer could pick any artist to do his song, and his name Jim Palmer, dead or alive, who do you want to do your song? And his name after you.
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, Blue Eyes. I like that.
Well, there you go. Frank.
Oh, yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Fly Me to the Moon or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Or September song as you get older. It's a long, long time from May to September as the leaves turn to gold.
So Frank Sinatra. I like that. So the name's Jim Palmer by Frank Sinatra.
I'll tell you one quick story. We beat the Dodgers 4 in a row in 1966, the Orioles' first World Series. Frank Mojabowski strikes out 11 in relief, 6 2/3 innings. I win the second game 6-0 over Koufax, then 1-0. Wally Bunker had been Rookie Pitcher of the Year. Frank Robinson hits a home run in the first game, and then off Drysdale to win 1-0 in the second one. Sinatra and Dean Martin bet on the Orioles $1,000, 40-1. So they win $40,000. Now, what are the odds of us beating? Dodgers had won in '63, they had won in '65. So we beat them, surprised everybody. We win 4 in a row, and we go to spring training, and Frank is appearing at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami Beach. One of our pitchers, Frank, bonus kid out of San Francisco, he knew Jilly, who was getting friends from Sinatra. So he says, Frank, you won $40,000. Why don't you invite some of the Orioles to see you perform at the Fontainebleau? So I went, I was married at the time, we went 4 couples, sat, I could grab Frank's ankles, I was that close to the stage. Nelson Riddle and seeing Sinatra when you're 21 years old. Went backstage, got to meet him and Mia Farrow, who he was married to at the time. And the one thing is, palms were a little sweaty. He must have been nervous to meet me.
I mean, yeah, you saw the greatest picture ever.
Hey,
Frank's like, hey man, this is the greatest I've had too. I got to deal with that.
I don't think that was the
Hey, I think you don't really. I mean, for me as a baseball fan, just a person who has to cover the game, what you have made baseball, what you have done for baseball, even from like the standpoint of how guys are marketing themselves now, you put a big impact on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to talk about that a lot with the magazine or the paper with the underwear and
the money store and all that stuff. Yeah.
But guys weren't. But think about it. You were before your time, because now that will be a normal thing now.
That's right. Now I'm beyond my time. So, hey, great, Chris. Great talking to you again.
All right.
Okay.
Jim, thank you, sir. You're wonderful. Thank you so much.